College Music Journal was a pretty big magazine for indie music, and they getting a spot on one of their shows was really cool. And it was in New York, and I working hard, getting the band together was doing pretty well, and then I get up there and everything's going okay. And then one of the songs I have to get in a lower register. I noticed I was having a tough time with it. And I had to sing over whatever. You figure it was just like a little horse or something, but it didn't stop. Like whenever I would try after that, and I'm sitting there, it's sort of like I'm obsessed with it. So I'm going, trying to make sure I can get over that note. And then I realized there was something wrong. I went to a doctor and he said, "Oh, you have a polyp on your vocal cord." I'm like, okay, take it off or whatever. I think I said, how do I get rid of it? And he said, well, you can either do vocal rest or you can have it removed. And this guy, the first guy encouraged vocal rest. I went with that. Then I wound up going to another guy who took it. What I had to go through to get there is after the depression of that event and knowing the band was going to be stopped for a while, I didn't even talk. I tried to heal it naturally by not talking, and I'd write. I didn't talk to people anymore. I wrote on for like 3 months. I wrote on a palimpsest instead of speaking. And so after 3 months, I found out it hadn't improved at all. And that's at the point I saw another guy, and eventually I had surgery, and it was like, lobster and butter on lobster. It was like nothing. And the next day, if I really had to, I could have sung. So I wish I knew that, ahead of time that it was going to be that. But by the time I did that, the band was done. They couldn't wait around anymore. So that's when I hitched up the wagon and headed out to California. That was it. And it was, I don't know if I don't, like I said, especially when you've had rejection so many times is in your early 20s, when you're in your 30s already, I guess it's, I didn't, I was just like, I have to get on to something else. I mean, what can I do? I can't sit around oh, that's it was the end for a while of music. And then I wisened up while I was out in LA. I could have started doing music out there, but I couldn't I've been overdoing it. I had to stay focused. So the writing and acting, acting came from the writing. I get gigs because somebody knew me as a writer. They like my writing. I say, oh, by the way, I also act. And that's how I would get that stuff. And the experience of acting, that if you can get through that, when you're on a film set and people don't know you and stuff like that, and you can still hold your own. I think that was a big growing thing for me.